In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing you a build that's going to be able to keep you alive for a very long time in the dark zone. It's going to help in teams for support, it's good in solo, it's very situational but has a lot of pros as well as cons alongside this build. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Man, no one is dressed like me in this game. Look at the drip, man. All of you guys got stylists, all of you guys think you know how to dress. Just look at this, take this in, man, yeah? Take some advice from me next time. How about that? But enough of this, let's get into this build, man. First and foremost, I just want to say this is not something where you're going to go into the dark zone and like just completely shred people's armor. No, this is not what I'm saying. I'm telling you guys now, this build is going to be able to keep you alive for a very long time. It's good for survivability, it's good in teams for support. You know, you can put kits, you can help each other out. So this build is definitely towards, you know, more on that side of things. But before I get into, you know, what these pieces do and what these weapons do, I just want to mention that we are using the survivalist specialization. This is going to help with, you know, popping kits because all our kits is going to apply to our team members. So definitely keep that in mind. And we are using a skill that is from, you know, the survivalist specialization, which is why I've selected that. Now let's get into our weapons and why we are using them. I've gone towards the Vector and the Lady Death, but in the gameplay I was testing things out and using the MP5, the MPX and different weapons to see how they worked with this build, but I had most fun with the Vector. It's got 63k damage, and then the Lady Death as well has 67k damage. But we've got max rolls on this Vector, and then if we go to our talents, we are using Instinct. Now the reason why I've gone towards Instinct is because again we don't have a lot of damage on this build. We're going towards more blue pieces, more blue core attributes, so in my opinion we're gonna need some sort of damage from somewhere, which is why I've gone with this talent. Now if you guys don't know what this talent does, hitting an enemy grants plus 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants plus 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So this talent alone is giving you 30% extra weapon damage across your whole build, which is why I've gone towards this talent for this weapon. Again, we've got the Lady Death. You guys must know what this does. If you don't, pause the video, have a read through, and yeah, this gun is just very strong. So that is the guns and why I'm using them. For our pieces, we have 2-piece Foundry Bulwark, we have a Bellstone piece, we have a Murakami piece, we have a Golan piece, and then we've got the NINJABIKE backpack. So for our Foundry Bulwark, because we have the backpack, we have 2 pieces equipped, but we're going to be getting 3 pieces because of the talent on the bag. We have 2 pieces here, which gives us 10% total armor, and 3 pieces, which gives you that 1% armor regen and plus 50% shield health. Now, with a set like this, it's definitely leaning towards more armor regen on my side of things. And I'm not really looking at the shield because we're not using a shield in this build. However, you could use a shield and go towards the Liberty, go for headshots and switch up the build, but today that's not what we're going with. We have a core attribute of armor, and then we've got crit damage and crit chance on the bottom here. So throughout this build you're going to see armor and then crits on the bottom as much as I can. That is the whole point of this build, of course. Now for our second piece, for our chest, we have gone towards the name chest, which is the Bellstone Armory one, Everyday Carrier. Bellstone Armory is giving us 2 pieces. Now we're going to get 1% armor regen again and plus 10% armor on kill. Now armor on kill is not something you want to rely on or look at in PvP in my opinion, because you're not always killing people in PvP and you're not always going to be able to get that armor on kill. However, in PvE, definitely a way to go about it because you're always killing red NPCs, they're always dying quickly, and it's definitely the way to go. On our core attribute we have armor, and then on the bottom we have crit chance, crit damage and a mod slot of crit chance there. And what does this chest piece give us for the talent? We have got perfectly efficient. Now what does this do? Using an armor kit has a 75% chance to not consume the armor kit. So this means if you keep popping kits, you're not going to run out. You know, there's a possibility that you could just forever have 4 kits on you and just keep popping. And then we've got a specialization. Armor kit bonuses are increased by 100%. So again, this is very important for team play. If you're using a specialization like, you know, the firewall or, you know, the survivalist like I'm doing, it's important, man. It's the way to go, and it requires 10 seconds to arm the talent. So with a kit like this, it's going to help you out. You're going to be able to stay alive longer. You're going to be able to keep popping kits. You know, if someone's, you know, gunning you down and you're low, you can just quickly run around the corner, pop that kit, and just help your team. Or in a solo situation, it's very good. I also want to mention again, guys, that this build is very situational. You're not always going to be able to stay alive, you know, 100%. You know, there might be a team that has, you know, foam and, you know, all this status effects. We don't have hazard protection on this build, so please do keep that in mind. But I do want to shout out PVO. Some of you guys did put this build in the chat, and, you know, we did discuss a few things, so I got to give credit to you guys. But for our holster, we have gone towards armor and critical hit damage on the bottom there for the Foundry Bulwark piece. And for the knee pad, for our Murakami piece, we have 2 pieces. We've got 20% skill duration and 20% repair skills. Now, this is actually going to go towards, you know, the skills that I'm using on this build, so that's quite important, and it's going to help us a lot for sure, man. We have armor, armor regen, and armor regen again. Now, on the bottom here, I'd love to have crit damage instead of that extra armor regen piece, just so that we can have a little bit more damage on this build, in my opinion. But again, I'm not really complaining for more survivability. But yeah, I would rather, you know, the crits there. For our glove, we have got the golem piece, which is going to give us 10% status effects as well as 1% armor regen. So we've got armor on top, hazard protection, and crit damage. I would love to get rid of the hazard protection and put crit chance there, because, you know, we're not looking towards hazard protection on this build at all. Like I said, if we, you know, run into people that are using status, you know, this build is quite hard to keep up if you are in solo. However, if you're in a group, this build is very strong, in my opinion. Definitely. And for the backpack, we have the NINJABIKE Messenger. This is definitely one of the most famous bags right now in the game. Everyone's loving it. We have weapon damage, armor, and skill tier piece on there for the attributes. And we have a mod slot of crit damage. Now, if you guys don't know what this backpack does, it has a talent called Resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. So like I said, we only have 1 golem piece here, but we're able to have 2 pieces for the attributes there. This is what this backpack does. It's very nice, and, you know, it's bringing a lot of diversity towards certain builds in the game. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Now for the skills, we have gone towards the Seeker Mine Mender. This is actually from the specialization, like I mentioned. That is why the Murakami knee pad is actually helping a lot with this skill. So we have 20% healing and 5% radius. Now, if we had a higher skill tier and we went towards more of a hybrid, this skill is going to help you out more. But because we are going towards armor and blue core attributes and, you know, armor regen, we can't really get the most out of this skill, but it's definitely something. And for our second skill, we have gone towards the Defender Drone, so we can stay alive even longer, get that damage reduction. We have plus 70% health on the drone and plus 5%, you know, damage reduction on there. And then we have an extra 2% from our expertise. If you expertise your drone, or if you have it expertise already, like say level 10 or something, you know, at least that's an extra 10% damage reduction on your drone as well. So that's the pieces. That's why I've gone towards all of this stuff. And let me know in the comments below how you feel about this build and what you would do to change it to make it better. But for the stats, we have gone towards 52% crit chance and 114% critical hit damage. Now, in my opinion, this is just, you know, the baseline template for this build, because if we actually had them extra 2 pieces with that crit damage, you know, or you know, crit chance, our crits would be much higher. But if I had them the extra 2 pieces for the crit damage, we'll be sitting at 138% critical hit damage, which means, you know, I'm hitting a lot harder, and this could be a lot more easier to get players out in like a solo situation. So please do keep that in mind. There is some improvements for this build for sure. There is quite a lot of improvements actually, because I don't have it expertise at all. So yeah. Now for the armor regen, we're sitting at 80,000. Now that is a lot, but if you wanted to go towards, you know, more armor regen, then you're not going to be critting a lot either. So you kind of got to choose between, do you want a kind of balance between the both, or do you want just to go towards full armor regen? We can't always have everything we want. Literally in this game, that's how it is. Armor and kill is sitting at 190k, but like I said, we're not really looking at that. And I just want to put across again that we only have 20% hazard protection on this build. So if we're solo and someone comes to me with a foam and a bleed hive and all of that sort of stuff, it's quite dangerous. We're going to be, you know, struggling to keep up with them because we don't have hazard on this build. So if someone does foam me, I'm going to have to get out of that quickly and try to get them out, and it's very tough. But in a team, if we have heals and we've got, you know, that synergy between all of us, and I'm running a build like this, it's definitely good, man. It can definitely help out your team, and you can definitely have some good fights for sure. So that is the build, that is everything I've put towards it. Again, I just want to shout out PVO for putting, you know, these build ideas together, and you know, we're just testing things right now, so I just wanted to put this build out there as a template for you guys and see what you guys think about it. So yeah, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it highly. And if you enjoyed this build, smash the like button, give it a huge thumbs up, smack it with your elbow, headbutt it. I don't care what you do, but I'm just trying to get this video and all of my videos pushed into the search more, so I would appreciate that engagement. Again, comment below what you're enjoying right now, what builds you're putting together, any build suggestions, put in the comment section below, and if I do like them, I will post them and give you credit. So that's what I'm kind of doing this year with this game and with this channel. And yeah, man, that's it from me. Until the next video, it's been Division Addiction. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.